I'm Alexandra Coghlan. I'm Glyndebourne's opera content specialist, and I'm here to give you some insights into the Glyndebourne Festival 2018. Vanessa is about a central question of, do you follow your love and your life, even though that's going to lead you into sort of messy, imperfect scenarios, or do you shut yourself away from the world and hold out for this ideal at risk of letting life pass you by? It's one of the most beautiful, most lyrical, most heart-on-sleeve scores of the 20th century, and that's allied to a plot that has all that quiet emotional intensity of a Chekhov or an Ibsen play. I think it's a real dark horse this season. Glyndebourne has a really strong history with Pelléas and Mélisande. I think it would appeal to anyone who knows Debussy's music already, so the piano music, whether it's Images or the Preludes, or L'après-midi d'un faune, La Mer. These are kind of dark, underwater, multi-textured, multi-layered orchestral sounds. It's unlike anything else you've ever heard. I think this production of Butterfly is a must-see because of the context. No one's had the opportunity to see Madama Butterfly at Glyndebourne Festival itself before. This is a special opera house. It's smaller than many houses, and that intimacy, that intensity, I think will really add something to the performance. There's also Annilese Miskimmon's production, bringing out the darker elements in the opera will create a wonderful dramatic friction with that beautiful score by Puccini. So we move on to our revivals for this season, which include two works by Handel, the opera Giulio Cesare and the oratorio Saul. David McVicar's Cesare caused quite a storm at its premiere. No one had seen a Cesare quite like this before, and lots of his original team from the first production are coming back with him. So William Christie will be conducting, Sarah Connolly, the original Cesare, will be back, Patricia Barden, who sang Cornelia in the original production, is also coming back, but we have a new Cleopatra, Joelle Harvey, the young American soprano, who should be very exciting. Saul is a very different beast. Saul is this Shakespearean tragedy, and what this oratorio has that we're not used to in Handel's operas is, of course, the chorus. So the Handel that we know from the Messiah or Zadok the Priest or the Coronation Anthems is there in addition to that wonderful painter of human emotion. I think both Handel's Giulio Cesare and Saul are wonderful operas for first-time opera goers because they're so packed full of spectacle and sensation. There's not a moment to be bored. They're also full of just some of opera's best tunes. I mean, these are two operas where emotion and melody absolutely go hand in hand, and they really lead you through the story. Rosenkavalier is a wonderful love story, but it's also a piece about politics, about times that are changing, worlds that are dying. And I think at this particular moment in our history, where we're on the brink of something we know not what, I think it's a very relevant, very contemporary opera. Richard Jones's production is joyous, it's youthful, it's zany, it's very colourful, but being Richard Jones, it's also very thoughtful. He's got a wonderful conceit whereby we move through different periods and different acts of the opera, so there's a wonderful sense of timelessness to it. One of the most interesting strands running through the 6 operas this season is the idea of the 20th century opera. So very unusually, we have 3 operas that were all premiered within a decade of each other. Pelléas et Mélisande by Debussy in 1902, Madame Butterfly by Puccini in 1904, and Richard Strauss's Rosenkavalier in 1911. And what you have here is the idea of, the turn of the century world. This is a world on the brink of change, and how does music respond to that change in 3 very different ways. So you've now heard a little bit about what's coming up in the Festival 2018. We hope you've enjoyed this brief glimpse into it, and we'll be exploring all the works in greater detail on our website and also by email over the coming months, so do look out for that.